Definitely I'll have to ask you, Sangeetha. I think cinema journey has just been a few years, right? Not too long. Television, of course, household perana. Everybody knows her because of Har Har Mahadeva. Modeling, you've done so well. Ee cinema, because they have been so strict with selection also. I think Kore alkar nokkitana finally Sangeetha ennu parna orale avaru select cheythu. Was it through your Facebook page or something? They saw your picture. How did it happen? How did it come to you?
Yeah, so I was in Hyderabad and I was scrolling through Facebook and I found this small Facebook ad where it was showing me that they're looking for a female lead for 777 Charlie.
That mic has a problem. Can we switch the mic if you don't mind? Thank you.
Yeah, is it clear?
Yes.
Yes. So I was scrolling through the Facebook. Yes, I was scrolling through the Facebook and I saw this small ad where it was written as looking for a female lead for 777 Charlie. And I saw Rakshit sir and I saw a small puppy. And I am also a dog lover. And I was like, I have to do this. I have to do this.
You decided?
Yes, I decided. So after Harar Mahadev, this was my first audition after that. So this was my second audition in my life. So I gave it a try. I came to Paramba and I gave my audition and rest is history.
You got it!
Yes.
And how was the experience shooting with Charlie? And it's a really big production. It wasn't a small production.
Yes.
So how was the entire journey?
So, of course, Rakshit sir is known for content-oriented films. So working with him itself was a big achievement for me. And coming to Paramba, it has always given gems to the industry. And of course, working with dog was one more exciting thing. But throughout the journey, it was like, I thought it would be ending in 1 year probably, I thought that. So I was supposed to sign a contract for 2 years, where I was not supposed to sign any other film. And that is fair enough. I can understand because when a dog is involved, we require time, we require patience for it. And as my director's status also says that every great achievement requires time. It has taken 4 years in our case. So yeah, the journey was awesome. We started from Mysore, the shoot started from there. And I had to go through workshops before performing as Devika to come out of my characters like Sati or other characters I have played.
Completely different, no,
Yes,
for you?
yes. So I had to settle down. When it comes to acting, I had to face down, I had to learn a lot. And to be honest, I think any movie I have done after Charlie, I have learned acting because of that. I have learned how to act naturally. More than acting, getting to the character was more difficult, and the workshops really helped me. And I would give all the credit of my character to my director, who was literally he has given soul, and I was lucky enough that I was chosen for this character, which is very important in this movie as well.
Well, all of you excelled in the characters that you came on screen, and you added a very very sweet element, but very strong. Like firm but sweet. I don't know that aspect. I'm only firm. I don't know sweet. But you did that so beautifully with your the way you went into that character. So good job. I can't wait, as I said, for everyone to see it. And finally, the man himself. I've been saving the best for last. Like Paramba Studios, അവരുടെ ഒരു ദൃഢമായ ഒരു തീരുമാനം കൊണ്ട് മാത്രമാണ് ഇത്രയും വർഷമെടുത്ത് ഈ ഒരു ചിത്രം നമ്മൾക്ക് കാണാനുള്ള ഒരു അവസരം ഒരുങ്ങിയത്. Lots of issues, lots of challenges, കുറെ പ്രശ്നങ്ങൾ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു. പക്ഷേ ആ സമയമൊക്കെ we will do this and we will do it in the best possible way എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞൊരു തീരുമാനം അതെടുത്തത്, of course, it is Paramba Studios, which means it's Rakshit Shetty and G.S. Gupta. Rakshit, firstly, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
For making it. I think kore adhigam cinemagallo you have acted, like I said, korchu samayam eduthu, you've done so many big films, but this one is one which has high risk also. Raj sir said it, Raja sir said it's high risk ana. But today I will ask the same question I asked the director. It's equally your baby as his. How are you feeling?
Oh, amazing. I think it's this is going to be remembered forever. I always say that 20 years down the line, when I look back at my films, my filmography, I should be proud of myself. At least that should happen. Otherwise, there's no point in making films. And probably Charlie will remain one of the top films which I would be proud about. I was part of this film. And see, I mean, you told his journey, right? And I think a person who has gone, who has seen life and who has gone through that journey. Only he can bring those emotions on screen. Otherwise, it's very difficult. Getting acting from a human being is one thing. Getting acting from someone who doesn't even know it is acting. That is all complete different task. And as much as him, the credit also goes to Pramod, because I believe before Pramod there were two or three other trainers who had come, and at one point Kiran realized that okay, this guy can't do it, and I think Pramod was the first one who accepted the first 150 tasks, although he had no idea about there are 450 tasks which is I have not told you. But he accepted after 150 tasks, and there are times probably he lost his patience also, but he gave his best until the end, until the last scene we are shooting in the snow, where all of us are struggling. Last few days which we shot in Kashmir, all of us are struggling, and there also I could see you Pramod like, this film please let it get over, kind. And I was in the same state, in Kashmir, Kirnaj comes and tells me that I have a super plan for the part 2. I'm like, I am not there. You make it. Okay, you make it to Charlie. I am not there. And dharma changes. Probably it is Arjuna now. I am giving his idea. I am going to produce it. Charlie will be there. I am not going to be there. So it was that kind of a journey.
That's quite a journey. I think that experience, how hard, tough ആയിരുന്നു എന്ന് genuine ആയിട്ട് you can see on Rakshit's face, but you've done it.
I've done it.
You've done it, high-five. June 10th, pan-world, pan-Indian release, worldwide release. It's hitting theatres next to you. Prithviraj Productions, that's so definitely there are lots more I can talk about because that's a subject. Shall I open it up to a Q&A session so the press can ask you questions? Already interviews all of them have met you. Please, I think they're ready to listen to your questions and answer back. Anything at all? Cover the area. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Hi.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Lithun. I'm from Silly Monks. My question is to Rakshit Shetty. Rakshit Shetty, Prashant Neel, Yash, you guys are considered to be the new flag bearers for Kannada cinema, the new Kannada cinema. That gives you a great confidence because KGF was doing really good. It was breaking all the records, the box office records and all. So when it comes to 777 Charlie, how confident are you, and what is the kind of confidence you get from the industry and also the acceptance of the movie?
I think because of KGF, a lot of perceptions have opened up. People are ready to consider a film which is coming from some other industry, and although it is dubbed in their language, as long as they enjoy the film, I think people are ready to come to theatres and watch the film. So that is the main, the big change which has happened, in recent times. And for us to release 777 Charlie all over the country, there is a very strong reason. I don't think every film has to be a pan-India film, but with certain films there comes a certain market. For example, for our film, dog lovers are there everywhere. Animal lovers are there all over the country, and that is a market which we are planning to tap. Obviously, once that is tapped, because of the film, because we are so confident about the film, the rest of the crowd also will come and watch the film. So I am hoping for the best in every state. Let's see what happens.
Sure. So, myself, I imagine I'm from Film Beat. I think my question you both can answer, Raj and Rakshit. So, in your both movies are connected, like the original culture of Karnataka are displayed in your movies, both your movies. So, is that what you want to tell to other Indian audience? Okay, this is our culture, this is our ancient film, this is what we want to say. So, you just want to speak on it?
Yeah, okay, I'll share my opinion. Probably then he can talk about his. I believe 40-50 years down the line, when the next generation comes, they should know how any region was 50 years back. And if we can capture it the way it is the way it is, then probably that will be a reference for them. Obviously, there will be documentaries and stuff which will tell them, which will give them even more realistic picture. But probably there are no documentaries made in few of the subjects which we have dealt with. So I believe our films definitely will be a reference point for them to look back and know, okay, 50 years down the line, this is how Udupi was, this is how Mangalore was. So that's what I believe in. And not every film, but few of the films I would like to explore as much as possible, especially the hometown I come from. There's so much of culture in just that 2 kilometers, from Mangalore to Udupi, or that 60-70 kilometers radius, that I can do 10 films, exploring that culture. So I have still lot to explore.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, you can answer that.
Yeah, for me, good cinema is a cinema which actually reflects the place which it was shot in. Because normally a person from Thrissur and a person from Kochi, they walk, they talk, they sleep, and they dream differently. The reason is, place is the culture, culture influences the character, and character influences the plot. So when I make films, I make from my experience, and most of the time when he makes film, he makes from his experience. So the places I have grown watching, the experience that I grabbed onto and which has shaken me, I want the world to see it. The world needs to see it because they want to see how different we are still, how we are all the same. Because when you watch Garuda Gamana, you can see that this culture is very different. When you watch Udidauru Kandante, you can see the culture is very different, but you can still see the people are suffering for the same reason. That is where we cross the barriers and we become humans. I think that is the reason.
Although it's from the same place, just 60 kilometers apart. I mean, he comes from Mangalore, I come from Udupi. Right from how the tigers are painted, it's completely different. The way it is painted in his film, it is painted in my film. And also the way I think is very different from the way he thinks. So the perspective also changes. The life he has seen and the life I have seen is very different. The life Kiran Raj has seen is very different, which is why he could make this film. I can never make this film, or probably he can never make this film. But yeah, so it's our expression. End of the day, as a director or as a writer, the way probably way Da Vinci paints, nobody else can paint, because he thinks in a certain way.
Sir, my name is Pradesh Shekhar. I am from Intelligence Malayalam. My question is to നമ്മുടെ പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട ഡയറക്ടർ സർ കിരൺ സാറിനോടാണ്. ആസ് യു നോ മലയാളം, ഞാൻ മലയാളത്തിൽ തന്നെ ചോദിക്കാം. നമ്മൾ പണ്ട് ഡബിങ് എന്നുള്ള സിനിമകൾ വേറെ എവിടുന്നെങ്കിലും വരുമ്പോഴേക്കും ഇവൻ തമിഴിൽ വന്നാൽ പോലും അല്ലെങ്കിൽ മലയാളത്തിൽ വന്നാൽ പോലും അമ്മച്ചി തിരുപ്പി വന്താച്ച് എന്നൊക്കെ പറഞ്ഞിട്ട് ഇവിടെ പലരും ഇത് പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുണ്ട്. പക്ഷേ ആ കാലഘട്ടത്തിൽ നിന്ന് മാറി RRR, അത് കഴിഞ്ഞ ശേഷം KGF, അങ്ങനെയുള്ള ബ്രഹ്മാണ്ഡ സിനിമകൾക്ക് മലയാളത്തിലുള്ള മൊഴിമാറ്റം കൊടുക്കുമ്പോഴേക്കും ആ സ്വീകാര്യതയാണ്. ദർ ഇസ് നോട്ട് ലാംഗ്വേജ് ബാരിയർ. ഇപ്പൊ ഈ ചാർലിയുടെ ട്രെയിലർ വന്നപ്പോൾ പോലും എല്ലാവരും ആ ഒരു സ്വീകാര്യതയാണ് നൽകുന്നത്. ദ ആങ്കർ രഞ്ജിനി ഹരിദാസ് പോലും ഏറ്റവും വലിയ പെറ്റ് ലവർ ആണ്. അങ്ങനെ ഒരുപാട് പേര് കേരളത്തിലുണ്ട്. സോ ഇതിന്റെ ട്രെയിലർ വേറൊരു ലെവലിലേക്ക് സ്വീകാര്യത കിട്ടിയിട്ടുണ്ട്. സോ പെറ്റ് ലവേഴ്സും ഒപ്പം സിനിമ ഇഷ്ടപ്പെടുന്നു, ലാംഗ്വേജ് ബാരിയർ കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ടുള്ള സിനിമ ഇഷ്ടപ്പെടുന്നവർക്കും വേറൊരു ട്രീറ്റ്മെന്റ് തന്നെ ആയിരിക്കുമോ, കുടുംബസമേതം കാണാൻ പറ്റുന്ന ഒന്നായിരിക്കുമോ ചാർലി 777?
തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും അതില് ഒരു ഡൗട്ടും ഇല്ല. ചെറിയ കൊച്ചു കുട്ടികൾ നമ്മളെ പടത്തില് നിങ്ങൾ ആൾറെഡി ടീസർ ട്രെയിലറിൽ കണ്ടാല് ആദ്രിക എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ഒരു കൊച്ചു കുട്ടിയുണ്ട്. സോ ആ കൊച്ചു കുട്ടി തൊട്ട് വളരെ ഏജായിരിക്കുന്ന എത്രയോ ക്യാരക്ടേഴ്സ് ഉണ്ട്. അതുവരെ എല്ലാവരും ഫാമിലിയോടെ വന്ന് കണ്ട് ആസ്വദിക്കാൻ പറ്റുന്ന ഒരു പടമാണ്. ആൻഡ് എവിടെയും ഇതൊരു മാസ് കമേഴ്ഷ്യൽ അങ്ങനെയുള്ള ഒരു എലിമെന്റ്സിന് കൂടുതൽ പോവാതെ മൊത്തം ഫാമിലി കുടുംബത്തോടെ വന്ന് ഇരുന്ന് ഈ പടത്തിനെ ഫീൽ ചെയ്യുക, എക്സ്പീരിയൻസ് ചെയ്യുക എന്ന് പറയുന്നതാണ് ഉദ്ദേശം. ജസ്റ്റ് എൻജോയ് ചെയ്യുക എന്നല്ല, അതിനെ എക്സ്പീരിയൻസ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് പോവാ. തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും ഒരുപാട് പേര് ലൈഫിൽ ഇതൊരു വേറെ രീതിയിൽ ഒരു ഇമ്പാക്ട് കൊണ്ടുവരും എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ഹോപ്പ് എനിക്കുണ്ട്.
Hi. Yes, hi. Okay. I'm Shamya from Anecdote. Actually, ഈ ഒരു മൂവിയുടെ ടൈറ്റിൽ 777 ചാർലി എന്നാണ്. ചാർലി ആരാന്ന് മനസ്സിലായി. എന്താണ് 777?
അത് ഞാൻ പറയാം. എന്തോ ഞാൻ ആൾറെഡി ഒരുപാട് പേരോട് പറഞ്ഞതാണ്. ഡോഗ് ലൈസൻസ് നമ്പറാണ് 777 എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. നമ്മളിപ്പോ പട്ടിക്ക് ലൈസൻസ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റും. സോ ലൈസൻസ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ അതിലൊരു നമ്പർ കിട്ടും, അതാണ് 777. ചിലപ്പോൾ അതിന്റെ കോളറിൽ പേരും നമ്പറും ഇടാൻ പറ്റും. സോ അകസ്മാത് ഡോഗ് മിസ്സായി കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ അപ്പൊ ആ ഡോഗിലുള്ള ആ നമ്പർ ട്രേസ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് അതിന്റെ ഓണർ ലൊക്കേഷൻ ഡീറ്റെയിൽസ് എല്ലാം ട്രേസ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റും. സോ അത് ഡോഗ് ലൈസൻസ് നമ്പറാണ് 777.
Yeah, as you know, നമ്മുടെ രാജ്യത്ത് പട്ടികളെ പെറ്റ്സിനെ വെക്കണമെങ്കിൽ we need a license. Unfortunately, the country has not been very good at executing it very well from the state side. പക്ഷേ ഇന്ന് കഴിഞ്ഞ കുറച്ച് നാളിൽ അതിലൊരു ഇളക്കമൊക്കെ വന്നിട്ടുണ്ട്. In this movie, it's executed perfectly. Okay, പക്ഷേ in real life, not so much. പക്ഷേ you can definitely go there. ഒരു informal way നമുക്ക് കത്ത് എഴുതി കൊടുക്കാം തൽക്കാലം. We have right now, it's not at that level yet, but that is what is written down. So, lucky Charlie got a number. അടുത്ത question. Yes.
Hi. I'm Smita from the New Indian Express. Anyone can answer this question. See, 20 years ago, not 20, 30 years ago, what we saw dogs were as like pets who live in we have the kennels and it's chained and they are not let inside the house or anything. But now slowly we are adopting them and we don't call them pets and owners, it's more of pets and parents, and pets are also part of the family now. So people are okay with bringing them indoors. And how far do you think this movie will play a part in changing that, keeping pets outside the house kind of mindset?
So one happy thing is that humans are evolving. So the dogs are coming inside the house. I think as an audience, when I watched the film for the first time, there was a lot of confusion before I watched the film. That okay, there was pandemic which is happening. So should we go for OTT? And are we really doing it pan India? All that. But when I watched the film, I was so confident about the film because I knew that the pet lovers will love this film. And if you're not a pet lover, you'll start loving them and you'll adopt a pet soon. So when I got that confidence is when we decided that no, we are not going for OTT, we'll go to theatres because this experience has to be in theatre. And obviously we are going for Pan India. So yeah.
I'm a very reluctant actor because I think like a director and I rarely act in films. So when he came to me with I had directed one movie called Vandu Muttai Kathe, and that is the reason he got connected to me and we were speaking. And then he narrated this story, and it was in the initial draft, it was well written, and he wanted some correction in the dialogues. That is when I started working with him. But I didn't have a clue that I need to do the character. So I was happily writing, and after we finished the first draft, and then he wrote it, even more beautifully because he corrected it further. And then he asked me to play that role. I'm like, brother, this you shouldn't do. I'm not playing the role at all because for me, direction gives more joy. But the reason he had was, I'm a pet lover myself. I have 8 dogs, like all indie dogs. So he wanted me to play the role because he thought that is a justice for that character because he's a veterinary doctor. And the other thing that was bugging me was Pucha. Oh, nice. It will become a zoo, yeah. So the other thing that was bugging me was I really, when I direct my films, it is very subtle acting. That's what I do. And he wanted the character to little louder. So that is when I was like a little suspicious. I asked him, can I do that? He said like, you will perfectly match. So then I'm like, and I have Rakshit, who is my dear friend, and Kiran. And then I could see why he's requesting me to play the role. So, and I really love this project as a whole because I have a very good actor companion other than Rakshit. Yeah, so this was a joy. And I really want great things to happen to this team, especially Kiran and Rakshit. The reason is, as a director, I wouldn't take 167 days of shooting, and that too with a dog, because it is too much torturous. It is too much hard work. In few scenes, Rakshit had to give 60 takes, not because he had performed bad, just because she was not in the mood. So that is not a easy job at all. I really request the people to watch this movie. The reason being, it is a passionately made film, and they wanted to make a movie which looks like a world-class movie. I think
Definitely.
it looks like one, and thank you so much for making me a part of it.
Thank you so much for being a part of it, because you also bring so much joy, for us audience watching this fabulous movie. Thank you for saying, not being reluctant. Of course, I think one of the toughest jobs would have been, Pramod. Hi, because Charlie and the beautiful puppy ne, or a full-fledged actor Aki Martin de Jolie was yours.
Thank you.
Any tips? How did you do it? Was it hard? Were they demanding?
It was not about the demanding or request. I still remember when I first met Director Kiran Raj. He had given me a list of activities, which was consisting of very small numbers. So once we shot those puppy portion, he was not happy with what he was, what was on his paper. So he started doing more research on the
Giving a longer list.
Longer list, and that list was around like 300 to 400 tasks.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Firstly, I have to thank the director Kiran Raj sir and Rakshit sir for giving this opportunity to work in this movie. And next comes Charlie, who has supported me in all environmental factors, and the whole crew. And though the journey was not so easy and simple, finally we are today coming on big screens. So very happy for that. And yes.
Yes, thank you so much.
ഏത് മൊമെന്റിലാണ് ഒരു പാൻ ഇന്ത്യൻ സിനിമ എന്നുള്ള ഒരു തോട്ട് വന്നത്? ഇതിന് തൊട്ട് മുമ്പ് ഇറങ്ങിയ KGF എത്രത്തോളം കോൺഫിഡൻസ് തന്നിട്ടുണ്ട്?
ആക്ച്വലി KGF ഫസ്റ്റ് പാർട്ടാണ് അതിൻ്റെ ഒരു സക്സസ് നമ്മൾക്ക് ഒരു പാൻ ഇന്ത്യ പോകാനുള്ള ഒരു നല്ലൊരു കോൺഫിഡൻസ് തന്നിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. പക്ഷെ ഞാൻ നേരത്തെ പറഞ്ഞ പോലെ ഞാൻ ഈ ഇതിൻ്റെ കഥ എഴുതുമ്പോൾ എനിക്കിത് കന്നഡയിൽ ഞാൻ ചെയ്യാനുള്ള ഉദ്ദേശം മാത്രം ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു. പക്ഷെ അഗൈൻ രക്ഷിത് സാറാണ് അവർ സ്ക്രിപ്റ്റ് കേട്ട് കഴിഞ്ഞ് അവരാണ് പറഞ്ഞത്, ഇല്ല ഇത് ഒരു യൂണിവേഴ്സൽ എമോഷനാണ്, ഇതെല്ലാവർക്കും എത്തിച്ചേരണം, സോ നമ്മൾ 5 ഭാഷയിൽ ഇതിനെ ചെയ്യാന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ്. അപ്പോൾ അവരൊരു പ്രൊഡ്യൂസറായിട്ടാണ് ആ കോൾ എടുത്തത്. എനിക്കത് ആൻഡ് ഓഫ് കോഴ്സ് അവര് അത് പാൻ ഇന്ത്യ ചെയ്യുന്നു എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ എനിക്ക് തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും അത് പാൻ ഇന്ത്യ ലെവലിന് റീച്ച് ആവും, അത് അങ്ങനെ തന്നെ റിലീസാവും എന്ന് പറയുന്ന എനിക്കൊരു കോൺഫിഡൻസ് ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു. അതിന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് എന്താ എക്സ്ട്രാ എഫേർട്ട് ഇടണമായിരുന്നു, അത് മൊത്തം ടീം എല്ലാവരും ചേർന്നിട്ട് ചെയ്തതാണ്.
മലയാളത്തിൽ നിന്ന് ഒരു പാൻ ഇന്ത്യൻ പ്രതീക്ഷിക്കാമോ? മലയാളം കൂടി ആയതുകൊണ്ട്
ഞാന് മലയാളത്തില് ഇതിപ്പോ നമ്മൾ എന്താണ് ഡബ് ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്നത്, ഒരു മലയാള പടത്തിന് വേണ്ടി എല്ലാ എഫേർട്ട് ഇട്ടിട്ടാണ് ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്നത്. എവിടെയും കുറച്ചുകൂടെ നെഗ്ലക്ട് ചെയ്തിട്ടില്ല. ഇവിടെ വന്ന് ലാൽ മീഡിയയിൽ ഇരുന്ന് ഡബിങ്ങിൽ എൻറ്റയർ സ്ക്രിപ്റ്റ് പ്രോസസ് സതീഷ് സാറ് നമ്മളെ പറമ ഓഫീസിൽ വന്ന് അവിടെ പടം കണ്ട് അവിടെ തന്നെ ഇരുന്ന് എല്ലാം കംപ്ലീറ്റ് ചെയ്ത് ഈച്ച് ആൻഡ് എവറി ഡയലോഗ് ഡിസ്കസ് ചെയ്ത് എന്നിട്ട് ഇവിടെ വന്ന് നമ്മൾ ആൾമോസ്റ്റ് 70 ആർട്ടിസ്റ്റ് ഉണ്ട് പടത്തില്. എല്ലാ ക്യാരക്ടറിനും അതിന്റെ വോക്കൽ ടെസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്ത് അവർ വോയിസ് ടെസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്ത് എന്നിട്ടില്ല ഇത് വർക്കാവുന്നില്ല, ഇത് വേണമാ, ഇത് വർക്കാവുന്നുണ്ട്. സോ ഇങ്ങനൊക്കെ ഈച്ച് ആൻഡ് എവറി പോർഷൻസ് എന്തുണ്ട് അത് ഭയങ്കര ജാഗ്രതയോടെയാണ് ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്നത്. ഒരു മലയാളം പടത്തിന് അതെ അവര് രഞ്ജനി മാം പറഞ്ഞ പോലെ എവിടെയും നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഒരു ഡബ് സിനിമ തോന്നത്തില്ല. തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും
This is your first Malayalam film, first Tamil film, first Telugu film, first Hindi film and first Kannada film.
Yes.